clean.
I think I was there.
You might have been there.
Yeah, man. We had some good ass fights this year. And now, now Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's gonna fight Canelo.
Oh man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him, because Canelo hits so hard, man.
There's just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see him just, hey, boom. Bro, he hits so hard.
Joe Rogan was worried about Crawford and told him to drop out of the fight after seeing how confident and ready Canelo Alvarez was at the press conference. The UFC expert changed his mind because of how serious Canelo Alvarez was. At the press conference, Joe Rogan thought Canelo was scary and would be too strong for Crawford when they fought, even though Crawford seemed sure of himself.
Oh, Canelo Alvarez body shots. Like, maybe there's a video we could look. He's got a beautiful one where he steps in and just rips that left hook to the liver, and your body just goes, it shuts down. It's the weirdest feeling, man. It's like your legs stop working, everything stops working. Your whole body just seizes up.
I've always believed Crawford had a shot, but I saw something different. Canelo did a great job at the news conference, and he seems to be taking this fight more seriously than he has in the past. Joe Rogan went on to name Crawford the underdog, suggesting that things could turn very nasty for the Nebraska fighter on fight night, and I guess it became clear during the news conference that Crawford has always been the underdog. Crawford's only chance is a miracle, since everything seems to be against him. Lastly, Joe Rogan wanted to end the fight, but everyone felt that it was very unlikely to happen. If I had my way, that fight would not take place. Canelo's readiness have stolen all of my optimism.
Fight would be gigantic.
I'm trying to make all-time history.
Right. That's the one that gets you going. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. I hear him now. You too little. Canelo gonna break you.
Yeah.
I love the challenges. Let me prove him wrong once again.
Both men have had a lot of success for different weight classes. Crawford has a perfect record of 41-0 after beating all of his opponents, while continuing to push himself, even though he has been criticized. He is still one of the best and the biggest star in the sport.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them, and ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it. Come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
It is a simple fact that when two great champions from different categories face off, one of them must start the fight knowing that they may have a size advantage, which can be enough to divide two exceptional operators. That is no different for this specific super fight, even if it was recently revealed. Joe Rogan was slightly worried about Terence Crawford moving up to weight classes to make this fight possible.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't look different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
you know
see.
it.
We'll see.
We're gonna see.
But who started his career in the lightweight division, will move up from junior middleweight 154 pounds to super middleweight 168 pounds for this legacy-defining fight. Because of Crawford's technical ability, this will surely be a hot topic in the build-up to the bout. His next opponent is a world-class boxer with past experience at light heavyweight. The UFC announcer addressed the size factor while hyping up the fight on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, where he was accompanied by comedian Brian Simpson. Rogan, who has already recorded many podcast episodes with Crawford, is worried that Canelo's physical advantages may be too difficult to overcome. I just hope he is big enough. I hope he's large enough to keep that guy away from him because Canelo, such a powerful fighter, he noted.
The elite of the elite boxers, to a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined. Yeah. And they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They're throwing so much money at boxing. And the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3 weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
I think he can too.
Terence Crawford is apparently unconcerned about going up to weight classes, as he has been wanting this super fight with Canelo Alvarez for quite some time. With Crawford opting out of a tune-up bout, the agreed-upon time frame will mean it hasn't fought in over a year by the time he goes into the ring for what will very certainly be the toughest fight of his career, but it will give him some time to adjust to the size disparity.
Streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Yeah, I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
Fans of Joe Rogan's show were surprised to see him abandon Crawford so quickly after initially appearing to support him. Many believe Alvarez, who is now at super middleweight, will keep his size advantage against Crawford, who has spent the majority of his career at 147 pounds, with his most recent bout at 154 pounds. However, Joe Rogan did not think that the size advantage would be a significant factor in the bout.
One dude that, like, I believe all the he be talking.
Crawford?
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying that
They tried to say that like Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful.
Crawford, according to Joe Rogan, is not as little as most people think. The UFC analyst recently asked Antonio Brown on his JRE show, episode 2286, during the talk with his guest. He made it clear that the 37-year-old boxer still has plenty of time to acquire big weight. Rogan made it plain that he is quite excited about the event, saying, "You know why I'm happy? Terence Crawford and Canelo are the ones." However, he then addressed one of the most popular worries among fans, the size gap between the two fighters.
Slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up. You know,
super.
He stated that many people believe Terence is too little. He weighed in the other day and was 185 pounds. He just won the 154-pound belt, you know. Previously, he fought at middleweight 147 pounds, but he has plenty of time to gain some weight. Despite Crawford's undeniable skills, many fans think he will eventually become just another name on Canelo's increasing list of defeated opponents. Much of this mistrust comes from the fact that Crawford, 37, is taking a major risk without the benefit of a rehydration clause. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, is widely regarded as one of the world's most accomplished fighters, with a 4-1-0 career record that includes 31 knockout wins. Crawford's most recent fight was against Israel Madrimov, and he won by majority decision.
Like, just knows so much about boxing, about where to be and what's coming, and
he's a strategist that's also entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an artist.
Like, remember like a young B-Hop?
Yes.
It was like just so sharp and made it look almost entertaining. You know what I mean?
Roy Jones in his prime. It was art. You were watching art. He's piecing up people. It was an
Riyadh season gets started with one of the year's most anticipated fights already heating up. The first press meeting ahead of Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford's blockbuster fight took place at the Baker Al-Shidi Theater in BLVD City in the Saudi capital. The Mexican superstar will defend his undisputed super middleweight title on September 13th in Las Vegas against the undefeated American, who is going up to weight classes for the occasion. The ring title, which is worth a record-breaking $188,000, will also be at play. The battle will be streamed live on Netflix. The tension between them is already obvious. The competitors faced off in a highly orchestrated affair typical of major bouts in the Middle East. Canelo's record is impressive. During the last 2 decades, he has fought everyone. I don't believe he'll give Crawford the chance to beat him. This will be one of the best battles of the previous decade. According to Turki Alalshik, who started the press conference, both Combatants had dinner the night before with the Saudi minister who was driving this long-awaited battle.
Going up and becoming undisputed against Canelo. Whoo! Come on, man. I'm flying in the sunset, man. Thank you, boxing God.
That would be it?
That would be it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing get for me. I didn't accomplish everything there is to accomplish in the sport of boxing. You know.
Canelo comes in with a point to prove after his most recent victory with William Skull, which set a record for the fewest punches fired in a non-fight. It was upsetting for me. I came to fight, but both boxers must won it. This is a big fight, and making history is my goal, so I'm amped up. He added, he's a fantastic boxer, but he is not Canelo. I have experience. They only focus on my strength, but I have more. I believe this is one of the best fights of my career. I want to make history, despite being a previous undisputed welterweight king who later won the IBF super welterweight title. Crawford is not considered a favorite due to the weight jump. It's as easy as that. I will win. Nobody tells me how to fight. I've been doing this my entire life, Crawford claimed. I'm not going to run, despite the fact that his backward moving, evasive technique could cause a problem for Alvarez. Both men feel this is going to be a historic battle. I asked for Canelo because he's a fantastic boxer who has battled Mayweather and GGG in huge fights. And this is my mega fight. This is my time. That is what I wanted. Canelo added. Crawford is one of the best boxers I will ever face. I'm going to prepare for everything. Alvarez replied by standing behind his collection of belts and issuing a warning. He will not beat me. I think that this bout will go down in boxing history. I hope he doesn't run. Fans deserve to watch a fantastic fight. I hope he'll bring it. I know what I'm capable of and I am quite sure in it. It is building up to be a night to remember.
However I gotta fight, I'ma win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not gonna...
Previewing the September 13th showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both fighters sat down with Piers Morgan for a lengthy interview in which Morgan asked questions about their upbringing, mentality, and physical capabilities going into their fight. Neither fighter was too keen on getting into the highly personal questions Morgan had to ask about Canelo fighting through his brother's kidnapping or Crawford being shot years ago. But here's some listen. It doesn't matter how they rate me, because at the end of the day, we're going to fight. And I'm going to win. Simple as that. Can I ask you if there's a repeat clause with this fight with Canelo? No, there isn't. Is that something you push for? No, I don't. Are there any weight limits to the fight at all? No, there aren't. I like that because that's when you know it's going to be a good fight. I have a lot of skill and abilities that people are unaware of until they are in the ring with me. You have two dominant men over there who are aware of their skills and do not need to put on a show. We'll surely put on a show for the audience, but we're also aware of our own capabilities. When asked if he has a reach advantage against Canelo, Crawford replied, it could be in some cases, but it could also be a disadvantage. Canelo is very excellent at slipping inside shoots from mid-range. That may be his advantage, so I never think that just because I have long arms, that could be my advantage. Yes, it gives you an edge on the outside, but what you do with your long arms is what counts on the inside. How short can you toss your shots? So I'm well versed in all games.
Fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Crawford on his present weight. I'm not sure. 155. Crawford on if he's worried that he's only 155 pounds while this bout is 168 pounds and whether moving up to that weight will hurt his style. No, not at all. Because I think we fighters carry a lot of weight, I'll just battle at my normal weight. Canelo on those who believe he's a drug cheat based on failed tests in the past. People who don't want to believe they don't believe even if it is true what I say, or the proof is there they want to believe what they want to believe and I don't really care. There's a lot of experts that think Canelo is not the same fighter. His punch out's a lot less. What do you think, considering you know the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago? I think he is. I just think he just wasn't up for the score fight, and I think different fighters bring different energies out of other fighters. A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight. You're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of reply to that? History has shown that smaller fighters often struggle against naturally larger opponents, but Tully Malagnagy doesn't think so. Former professional boxer and ProBox TV analyst Tully Malagnagy, like most fans, is very excited about the matchup. He feels that the unified super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez is a master in his own right. While the Mexican has a certain size advantage, Crawford will not be an easy fight. Malagnagy thinks that in a recent interview with Fight Hype, Magic Man highlighted the areas where Bud has a huge edge over his opponent. He added, "At first, I felt Crawford could be too little."
Canelo Crawford, I know what you feel about Canelo, but what do you feel about that particular fight? Which it sounds like it probably took 100 to 150 million, maybe each, in order for Turkey to get that.
It doesn't really listen. It's gonna be a fight that people want to watch because it's something that people would generate and talk about. Canelo's very popular. At this point, if he fights my sneaker, it's gonna generate 1 million pay-per-views, right?
However, he underlined that it will eventually come down to both players' ability, with Crawford having a little lead. He stated, "I believe Crawford is a much more complete fighter than Canelo. Crawford's tiny size is the only real risk here. Think about it. Roberto Duran was a former lightweight who finally defeated Iran Barkley. It is worth noting that when Roberto Duran faced Iran Barkley in 1989, the fight was extremely close, with Duran winning by split decision despite the fact that Barkley had previously defeated Tommy Hearns."
I was originally thinking Crawford might be too small. I think Crawford is a way more complete fighter than Canelo ever was. I think Crawford is just the only risk here is Crawford's small. You think about it though, Duran was a former lightweight and he was able to beat Iran Barkley eventually, right? So it's not out of the question. And this Canelo is not the prime Canelo. This Canelo is also a Canelo who's trying to steal bags while half-assing it. When Canelo has been put in tough situations in the moments where he's had to really dig down, what is he?
That being said, as time passes, a growing number of fans feel Terence Crawford has what it takes to dethrone Canelo Alvarez. Bold predictions about Canelo's opponents are nothing new, but Crawford is a completely different animal. Do you think he can pull off the upset? And that's all for now. Stay up to current on boxing news, moments, events, and activities by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to switch on notifications to be told when we post quality material like this. Until next time, peace.